And the Commando forces indeed today the 19th February 2021. The one that the day they graduated today 19th February. Part of the one that the Commando forces indeed today the 19th February 2021. The one that the day they graduated today 19th February 2021. It will be easy. That's part of the Commando forces and this. They don't jog at them. They celebrate. It will be easy. Young Commando. It will be easy. Let's see on the right. It will be easy. But I'm going to get power. Let's see on the right. Let's see. Wow, no easy. No easy. No easy. That's on the ice. No easy. Wow. No easy. No easy. Let's see. Oh. Young Commando. Let's see. Young Commando. Forces indeed today the 19th February 2021. The one that the day they graduated today 19th February 2021. It will be easy. That's part of the Commando forces and this. They don't jog at them. They celebrate. It will be easy. Young Commando. It will be easy. Let's see on the right. It will be easy. But I'm going to get power. Let's see on the right. Let's see. Wow, no easy. No easy. No easy. That's on the ice. No easy. Wow. No easy. No easy. Let's see. Oh. Young Commando. Let's see. Young Commando.
Good evening, the great people of Ambazonia, and good evening to all friends of Ambazonia. The Ambazonian people have placed Cameroun on a political, economic, social, and diplomatic chokehold. The Ambazonian people have placed Cameroun on a political, economic, social, and diplomatic chokehold. There is no way out for Cameroun. There is no way out for Mr. Biya. There is nothing at this moment that can save or rescue Cameroun. The Canadian government has rallied its international partners, and the financial drip through which Cameroun had been able to sustain the occupation government. The Canadian government has rallied its international partners and friends of Canada, and they have put a stop on all IMF loans to Cameroun until Cameroun gets back into meaningful discussions, back to the negotiation table with the Ambazonian people. Today, a very renowned Canadian political science professor, Professor Chris Roberts, of University of Calgary. Professor Chris Robert is also a senior political and diplomatic advisor to the Canadian federal government and its Ministry of the Ministry of Global Affairs. He sent out a tweet today to give the international community, to give the Canadians, to give the Ambazonian people and people across the globe the update on Canadian pressure on Cameroon. Here is what it says. First, hashtag Cameroon. Second, hashtag Canada. Update. Delays by government of Cameroon to talk with Anglophone arm and other groups, costing more lives and suffering. No IMF tranche in March without substantive progress. That's from a senior Canadian diplomat, an advisor to the Canadian federal government, an advisor to the Canadian Ministry of Global Affairs. That's from Professor Chris Roberts. What does this mean to you, the Ambazonian people? Just 9 days ago, once more, the Ambazonian people demonstrated to Cameroon, to the international community, what we have consistently said. Cameroon no longer has control over the Ambazonian territory. The Cameroon occupation system has come to an end. The Cameroon colonial administrative system in Ambazonia has come to an end. The Ambazonian policy of making the territory ungovernable has crumbled the system of occupation. What is left in Ambazonia? It's mere military occupation. The 11th February, which is a day the Cameroon government has used to tell the international community, to tell Africans, and even to tell the people of Cameroon that Cameroon and Ambazonian still have anything in common. We've also proven that day has also come to an end. The colonial plebiscite no longer exists. As most of you have seen videos that came out of Nkambe, the colonial parliamentarian for Nkambe, Ngala Gerard, was on the streets with bags of money to bribe people to participate, to bribe people to do what they call march pass. If you have so much control, you have so much authority, and you have the ability to govern, why would you be bribing people on the streets? To get them to go march. If that day is so meaningful, why are you using money? Coexistence or nationalism, it's born out of love, out of passion. So why has it turned to bribery? To prove to Mr. Biya that you can do propaganda in Ambazonia. Well, not this time around. The Ambazonian Governing Council had other plans for Ngala Gerard. The Ambazonia Defense Forces had other plans. Disrupt, take control, define the narrative, and send the traitors on their heels. Few minutes later, after the distribution of money, what happened in Nkambe? Explosives everywhere. A massive disruption. We put Cameroun to shame. We disrupted the propaganda and told them who is in charge. For you, the Ambazonian people, we want you to be confident. This is the end game. I know there's a lot of noise. We know. Cameroon is having meetings with its agents provocateurs. They've had meetings in Canada with their new recruited and compromised agents. It's a lot of money going around to increase the confusion and the control of your mind. You also have read the report from International Crisis Group. Over the years, since 2019, I have educated the Ambazonian people through empirical analysis and evidence that the Cameroon government has created its own groups. Since 2019, I provided empirical evidence and analysis informing the Ambazonian people the Cameroon government has created pro-Cameroon groups. They are Ambazonian groups that their goal, their purpose, their intention is to carry out activities that undermines Ambazonian nationalism, that undermines the Ambazonian struggle for freedom, for dignity, for independence, and for sovereignty. I informed all of you. The International Crisis Group, in its report that came out a week ago, has indicated pro-government groups exist within the Ambazonia liberation space. Pro-government militias exist in the Ambazonia territory. What you know as infighting is not Ambazonians fighting Ambazonians. They are groups created by Cameroon to do the infighting on behalf of Cameroon. They are groups on the ground created by Cameroon, which now has been validated by the International Crisis Group to cause the chaos on the ground, to block nationalist forces from existing in certain places. What you're seeing happening in Manu, what you're seeing sometimes happening within Fako, what you're seeing happening sometimes within Meme, even what you've seen happening within Momo, even within Bui, they are all signs of what we have been informing the Ambazonian people. Pro-Cameroon government groups. Go read the International Crisis Report. These groups exist. With that being said, we have been able to succeed. We have been able to minimize the damages caused by some of these groups, we have been able to educate, inform, inspire, encourage, and empower the Ambazonian people to not blink. All I'm saying is be aware. The noise you hear on social media, the people making this noise, they are not making this noise because they love you. They are not making this noise because they know what truth is. They are making this noise, taking you through dark path to intoxicate your mind, to poison your mind, to confuse you so that you don't believe in your own dignity, so that you don't believe in your own future, so that you feel discouraged. They are doing it to make you feel discouraged. They are doing it to weaken your resolve. They are doing it to weaken your commitment. They are doing it to make sure you don't commit. You don't believe. They're not doing it for your benefit. They are doing it in order to help Cameroon to maintain a toxic narrative and therefore make you feel discouraged. Make you start to question if it's worth it. I'm here to tell you. I came back from Cuba 3 weeks ago. I spent almost 10 days in Cuba. I spoke to political leaders in Cuba. I spoke to leaders of industries. I spoke to people in the tourism industry, business people, ordinary citizens who are struggling, students, just to find out how life is. What are their own hopes? What are their own dreams? I met young people like you and myself. We have meaningful conversations so that I can understand their society. Cuba is a very clean place. The people are driven by a sense of nationalism. Regardless of some of their own challenges that they are facing, they are way better off. Very developed, well structured, good roads, zero corruption in terms of social corruption. There's corruption at the top, but social corruption doesn't exist. You travel for hours. There's no police officer who's going to stop you to ask you to pay them money. There's no pickpocket in the streets of Cuba. It's a clean, very organized society. Just in the small city of Varadero, they have built 50 luxurious international resorts. A small city. 50 luxurious international resorts. And the infrastructure is just extraordinary. The level of security, as a tourist, you can walk on the streets even at 3 a.m. You won't even see police people around. Their police officers don't even carry guns. Isn't that another perspective? Compare that to what Cameroon has implanted on our land. Little girls are murdered on the streets. Pregnant women are shot in close range. Grandmothers are burnt alive. Young girls are raped. State resources are looted. The military has become a gang of thugs and terrorists. Police have become thieves. The gendarmes have taken the laws into their own hands. There is nothing you can do about it. But there is something we have done about it. That system has come to an end. Be hopeful, Ambazonians. You have placed a chokehold economically, politically, socially, and diplomatically on Cameroon. You are in charge. We are even in charge as to what happens in Cameroon. That's how much power you have. Remember what the leader said the other day. The person in the armored car does not have power. The person who forced that person to invest in armored cars and be traveling in armored cars is the one who has power. If you, and as an Ambazonian, you can make Cameroon to invest in armored cars, you are in charge. You can make Okala Belai to be traveling in an armored car, you are the one who has power. If you can make the military to be driving, living, sleeping, eating in armored cars, they have no power. You are the one who has the power. That is power. That is power. That's why you should take pride in the strategy we have put in place. The strategies that have crumbled Cameroon economically, crumbled them politically, crumbled them socially. Their traitors cannot save Cameroon. The compromise agents cannot save Cameroon. The splinters cannot save Cameroon. The noise cannot save Cameroon. Nothing can save Cameroon. Nothing can rescue Cameroon. We, the Ambazonian people, are masters in shaping and creating destinies. What is happening in Cameroon, we dictated it, we've shaped it, we've created it, and we've caused it to happen. Politically, economically, socially, diplomatically. We are in charge. And until they come to that realization, it will continue to be a nightmare. They will continue to live in confusion. All right? Don't let the noise disturb you. Don't let traitors and cowards and beggars and eaters of crumbs to disturb your peace of mind. You have prevailed. Their noise are more signs of the desperation of an enemy that cannot even speak for itself. Mr. Biya cannot speak and defend Cameroon. Diongute cannot speak and defend Cameroon. Atanganji cannot speak. What can Lele Lafrique say? What can Okala Belai say? Nothing. There is nothing Agbobala can say. Because the end is here. They are out of what to say. And we are just getting started. Have faith. You have prevailed. All you need to do now is for us to intensify the assault on the enemy on all fronts. Intensify the assault on the enemy on all fronts. Pay your liberation tax. Over the last few months, you've been seeing the work and the investments you've made through the liberation tax. The consistent operations, the consistent assault on the enemy. We made enormous investment pre-11 February, and you saw the outcome. Your forces can do miracles. What they need from you is just a simple payment of your liberation tax. Pay your liberation tax. Let's take back our homeland. The only thing left for Mr. Biya to do is to surrender, because nothing else can save Cameroon. Good night.
Indeed, today the 19th February 2021, the one that they graduated today, 19 February 2021. No be easy. Now part of the Ambazonia forces and this, they don't jog at them, they celebrate, no be easy. Young Commando. No be easy, na see on the wife. No be easy, but I'm going to get power. No be on the wife. Na see am. Wow, no easy. No easy. No easy. That's on the eyes. No be easy. Wow. No easy. No easy, na see am. Oh. Young Commando. Yeah. Na see am. Young Commando.